Bija Puragadekshukarmukurujapchakrabjapashotpala Vriyagras Papishanratnakalashaif Prodhyatkaram Deyo Vallabhaya Sapatmakaraya Ashlishtojvaladbhushaya Vishwotpatti Vipatti Samsatikar Vignesha Ishtardadha Shrenathadi Gurutrayam Ganapatim Pitatrayam Bhairavam Siddhaugam Vadagatrayam Padayugam Dhuti Kramam Mandalam तेरान्ध्यष्टचतुष्कषष्टिनवकं वीरावळी पञ्चकम् श्रीमन्मालिनीमन्त्रराजसहितं वन्दे गुरोर्मण्डलम् माधर्मे मधुकैटभग्निमहिषः प्राणापहारोऽध्यमे हेलानिर्मितधूम्रलोचनवदे हे चण्डमुण्डर्दिनी निःशेषे कृतरक्तबीजदनुजे नित्ये निशुम्भापहे शुम्भध्वंसिनि संहर सुदुरितन् दुर्गे नमस्तेऽम्बिके सर्वं श्रीचण्डी महालक्ष्मी श्रीपादुकां पूजयामि तर्पयामि नमः सद्गुरुं श्रीपादुकां पूजयामि तर्पयामि नमः. Welcome all of you for this another session on the introduction to the Soundarya Lahari, with which we are traveling by the grace of Sri Guru and Sri Ambika. Today going to be a little technical session because I'm going to talk about the foundations of Yantra. From the Tantra Raja Tantra is the primary text that I've been referring to. What are yantras all about? Because that is the foundation for in Soundarya Lahari or in the Sahasnamam or the Shikra in which we wanted to worship, they make a deeper sensibility. So today it is a bit technical session. You need to listen. I've tried to make it as simple as possible, but yet you have to take a lot of notes actually, because based on this, the exams and everything will be conducted for those who are coming for the next levels to learn further. Actually, from the foundations, those who want to go to the advanced level, these notes will be very important. Okay. What is yantra? I have to ask the question. The first and the foremost thing is there's a kind of a very geometric diagram which comes in front of you, and most times it is in copper plates, and it has different geometric shapes which comes together, and they are meant for a particular deity. And what more you know about yantra? Sri Chakra is a yantra. You know about Sri Chakra. If I have to simply start with the objective of any yantra, we express, that is humans, express ourselves through three ways, primarily through three ways. What are the three ways? One is science. If you see, when you come to Chandi Homam, you will see that mostly I speak in signs only to all the volunteers. Actually, I'll not speak by mouth, I'll not open my mouth to speak. So if they're smart enough, they should understand when I show my eyes, when I do my hand movements, actually, So all the volunteers are like giving me some emoji symbols, those who were there. Good. So signs play a very important thing. And along with signs, that is sign, all the human gestures, in other words. We have speech. And then the third thing is writing, actually. These are the three ways in which we primarily express. Correct? Is there anything else we express? Correct, now? Through gesture, through speech, through writing. While this is for humans, but for the divine, the divinity is expressed primarily through what is called as a yantra and the mantra and the technicality of operating that. The yantra and the mantra to operate that, it's called a tantra. In other words, You are communicating with the divine, actually. It's another kind of a language. Clear? Just the way we have different languages, different signs and different symbols for ourselves, there are different yantras are there, and they are connected with different deities. And each are combined with a specific set of mantra. When there is a specific yantra, then there will be a specific mantra. When there is a specific mantra, then there is a specific way of approaching that yantra and mantra, which is called as the tantra, actually. And when we talk about the specific way of approach, in the least of the way we understand, in the least of, or in the common we understand is Vishnuji likes Tulasi, Shiva likes Vilva, correct? Devi means Haldi Kumkum. Because that specific approach, that approach is considered in that particular manner. But that is very foundation, let me tell you. At the it's when you cross these foundations, then these things doesn't matter at a very higher dimension, actually, whether you're off or Vilva or whatever it is. Actually, they are not going to be offended, actually. They know that things, actually, and you are coming at a different level to approach them, man. So at that point of time, Vilvam, Tulasi, Dhruva and all will be not matter. What matters is that how well you are prepared to speak to them, communicate with them, actually, through what is called as yantra, mantra and tantra. Clear to all of you? So, moving further, therefore, we can say that this yantra is an esoteric science, basically. Why science? Because it has systematic procedures, it has systematic rules, it has a systematic way of doing things. And this yantram means what? Yantram means a machine, basically. Yantram means machine. So yantram, which is there in front of you, is communicating with this particular yantram, aham, because this is also a machine only, yes or no? Time to time we eat, time to time we sleep, correct? This gets repaired, we feel unwell, then it gets healed, yes or no? It gets old and then it loses, actually, eventually, correct na? So it's a machine, basically. We are the ones who are applying nicely, like powder, facial and makeup and nice dress. I mean, you remember yesterday's Tirodhanam class, right? We all are thinking that we are just going to be like that, actually, but this is basically a machine. So that yantra, which is in front of you, is actually interacting with this yantra, actually. There is an interaction. If you want a cheesy word, I can say cosmic interaction. There is a cosmic interaction. What is that cosmic interaction? Now I should explain that. That cosmic interaction in simple sense is nothing but this yantram. What is this yantram made about, students? Tell me. The aham. Basically, what are the 5 elements? Correct? Intelligent. So your yantram, which is in front of you, is also made of 5 elements, basically. But what is the difference is the yantram which is in front of you, let it be yantram, Durga yantram, Baglamukhi yantram, Shri yantram, Bhairava yantram, or the Soundarya Lahari, 100 yantras you are going to draw and you are going to experience. Just imagine. All these yantrams, the only difference is that ours is limited in a way, but that is not limited in the sense it can survive beyond us, actually, in a way. The yantra which is in front of us will survive beyond our lifetime, but we have a limited lifetime, actually, though they are also destroyable, though they will also be a part of the Tirodhanam, though they will also be part of Samharam and Tirodhanam. Everything is a part of that in the Srishti. But our Samharam and Tirodhanam is a different time. Now I think I can use these words. You are all familiar with this, correct? Because every day the class will scaffold to the next level and you're supposed to remember the previous concepts actually. So the yantram which is in front of you, the what is called as the Samharam is not that, that soon actually. Because obviously it is made up of that Panchadhatu, it has mantras, it is a better dimension as compared to you, In other words, if I have to simply say, instead of beating around the bush, this yantra has karma, that yantra has no karma. Simple. That yantra has definitely what is called as Ashuddhi. Ashuddhi means because of the impurities of the metals and everything. But that has procedures called as Shuddhi Karanam. The moment you do Shuddhi Karanam and everything, then you do Mantra, Avahanam, Abhimantranam and all the procedures, then it will come to its original cosmic form. Now, why these yantras are actually made in for us? These yantras are are not a medium for us to connect with the cosmic reverberations. That is, we as a yantra, it is difficult for normal people, for all of us who are very normal, it is very difficult for us to connect with the cosmic reverberations because of the accumulation of all the vasanas that we have with ourselves. Got it? So therefore, what we have done, or whatever masters and our traditions and our parampara has done over since time immemorial, they have designed these yantras in specific manner, in a systematic manner, that they can derive the cosmic vibrations easily and they can give it to us actually. Number one. Number two, whatever the residues that we have, right? There is a residual that is coming out of all this sadhana that we are doing. That residual is absorbed into that yantra actually. And it nullifies. It's a kind of a nullifying element actually. That's the reason when you say when you go to some important temples, somebody in my class not listening and then going on talk. This proves it actually. Okay. Okay, so coming back. Kamakshi. Yeah, I was talking about Kamakshi. So when you go to Kanchi Kamakshi, say what? Sri Chakram. Ambal Sri Chakrathla irukka. Sri Chakrata namaskaram panano. Anga oru shakti irukku. I mean, coming back. No, there is a Sri Chakra. Devi is in the form of Sri Chakra. Their energies are very high. Yes or no? Any temple that I'm just saying Kanchi Kamakshi. So this yantra, the power of yantra is that reverberation is very high actually as compared to other aspects actually. The kirti is more in yantra. The prasiddhi is more in yantra. The akarshanam is more in yantra. Therefore, the output is more in from yantra. Are you all with me? Yes, good. Please give me those emojis whenever I ask you so that I know. No further. Yantra, any yantra sadhana will give what is called as siddhi. Now, don't be very happy. Any yantra will give siddhi. But if you get the right guru, the guru will show you moksham through the yantra. If you get caught otherwise, you will get only, they will show you only siddhis. I'll get you out of your trouble. I'll get you out of this. I'll get you this and that. But a real guru, when you come across, the guru will award you or make you qualified or tell you the secret or make you to practice the secret of becoming a moksha padartha. Moksha padartha means becoming a patram to achieve moksham through the science of yantra or the secret of yantra. Okay. Because in simple language, in the foundation, I can say only this much. There's a lot of invisible forces and energies that will act or that will derive from the yantra, and that energy will act on the individual. And it is sanctified or channelized through the specific mantras. And then there is an effectiveness that comes out of it actually. So therefore, not everybody's, they say that not everybody can do, everybody's cannot do this. This needs what is called as, not, it's meant for only a few people. Let me put it in a different way. It is meant for everybody, but not that everybody can do it actually. You should learn, you should practice, you should live actually. So that is what is called as an expertise is involved actually. That expertise is required actually. That right expertise, the right person and the right knowledge is required actually, who can show you this dimension. Got it? The yantra sadhana is verifiable at every stage. That is what the Tantra Raja Tantra is saying actually, in the sense at every stage, it opens up the minds of the seeker. For example, now how it is opening the mind of you, that what is this yantra, all you know that there is one geometric shape, correct? Now it is slowly opening your mind, right? So that rationality is there in the yantra sadhana. There is a set of doctrines that are involved, which can be verified, which can be tested by the individual with the grace of Guru. The Tantra Raja Tantra is talking about only two qualifications. Shraddha, Nishta. Faith and humility is the foundation that is required to get into this actually. Not any kind of logics, not any kind of, it's not magic, it's not a fast paced result, nothing. Faith and Nishta is required actually. Tantra Raja Tantra is very openly saying this also, students. In spite of doing a lot of sadhana, it might look like people are not getting the derived benefit. It can be only possible of two reasons. Maybe their sankalpam is not on the right direction or they have a confused sankalpam. Number one. Then the results might be heavy. They cannot change the sankalpam for which they are starting it actually. They should end with the same sankalpam. Okay. And secondly, they should travel with the teacher. They should not do anything independently. They should travel with the teacher. What the teacher is saying, you have to listen. In simple sense, they'll say that if the teacher is asking you to, do a particular thing in that particular manner, you have to do it actually. You cannot change it. You cannot even think of questioning it, or you cannot apply your logic there. Even if you apply their logic, you have to say, maybe the reason is there. We don't know. There is no need to think about the reason. It has been asked for us to be done. Let's do it actually. So this is required. This kind of a faith is required. And also, Amritanatha Saraswati, Guruji will say, actually, the Guruji has said this somewhere, like Yantra Sadhana, it is just like we are all scientists, basically, because he's a scientist, right? So, like, he's a physicist, basically, and he was a scientist. So he says that it is like a science, it's an experiment. You cannot pass the experiment in the first time itself. So you cannot dishearten yourself, actually. In the context of Sri Chakra, he says this in a very beautiful manner, actually. It's like that you worship, and it is not necessary that the Sri Chakra has to give you everything, actually. You understand? You do the experiments again and again and again, which means what? You do the aradhana again and again and again and again, actually. If the result is not visible, actually, you keep doing it, actually. So endeavors, sankalpam, that is clarity, Guru Anugraham, the faith, and then going through it systematically, what the teacher is saying until the end is very important in Yantra Sadhana. So, in other words, I'm simply saying anybody who is going to start the Soundarya Lahari, you are supposed to finish the course. If you give up in the middle means, I am not saying anything. That for that you are not being punished, but you have to understand, and you cannot just give up just like that. The only thing is that you are a bhagyavan. You should attain that bhagyam in the right sense, actually. You should go through that process to attain that bhagyam, actually. You cannot simply blame karma. You cannot simply blame your husband or wife or your office manager. You cannot blame these peoples and kind of escape from reality, actually. You spend your time, you do it, actually. Even these videos and everything is available, over the classes are available over the YouTube and everything. You ensure that you do the assignments, you progress in the classes, you do the work, and then you come at the end for the graduation ceremony to practice everything that you have learned, actually. You have been provided an opportunity. You are supposed to exercise the opportunity in the right way, you know. So these three are very important. So your sankalpam is very important. The moment you make your sankalpam very clear, then it means that it will work out, actually. If there is no clarity in the sankalpam, if there is confusion in the sankalpam, that is your goal, why you are doing this, then all kinds of trouble will be there, actually. Okay, next. There is a lot of information, or there is a lot of content regarding Kundalini, Shakti, and how these are connected to the six chakras, which I'm not taking at this stage. Actually, this is very foundation. Let us not get into this. But the only thing I would say is that you remember in one of my classes, I spoke about the deviations in sadhana that can come in through the various through the I mean, when we are doing this sadhana, this entire thing is based on what is called as the Kundalini Shakti and all the seven chakras activation and everything. When we actually talk about activation of this the chakras, we have the different shaktis like the Lakini, Hakini, Dakini, Shakini, and all these shaktis. They can, they can go hayway, and they can take you completely out of the path. You remember this Soundarya Lahari sadhana, this 100 chakras will actually channelize these six chakras which is present in our body in such a way that it makes it very harmonious for us to attain Jagannatha. That is, all these Shaktis, Lakini, Hakini, Dakini, Shakini, and all these seven Shaktis, which is present in all the seven chakras, they will cooperate with you, actually. You understand? As you progress from Shiva Shaktya Yukto to one step after the other, that is Soundarya Lahari, from one to other, second, three, four, see that the progress is happening, actually. There's a spiritual channelization that is happening. There's your entire life is coming to what is the hayway life is coming to a proper spacing, actually. Proper way of doing things, proper way of understanding of things manifesting. I keep talking about the spiritual dimension. I really don't want to talk on the material dimensions, because there are hundreds of YouTube videos which are already there in the internet, which talks about, all these sadhanas, perform it for 10 days, 11 days, until, different days. So I really don't want to do that, actually. That's the last thing I want to do to all of you, actually. So we will stick on to this alone. But let me tell you the the unspoken secret is that it will work for your material life also. But I will not expand on that. Got it? Your aim is only spirituality. Lest everything will fall into place. Till the time you will live, whatever you are supposed to get, roti, kana, makan, whatever we say, na, everything will fall into place. You don't have to worry. She will not take it away from you because she has decided that you have to do the sadhana. So she will keep you in that comfort zone. You have to trust that first, actually. Okay. So if you keep worrying all those things, all the other people, and you're not going to think about you, then she might have to withdraw from you. And she might think that you are also another victim of this planet Earth, actually, who will come to her only when you have trouble. That is the reason again and again I'm saying you make sankalpam proper. What is your sankalpam? That sankalpam is straightforward. She will do everything to you. Got it? If she wants you to do the sadhana, that's the reason you are here. First of all, you should trust that you are thinking that you are here. Actually, you are not because of you are here. You are here because she wanted you to. That you should trust first. And then you should start working on this. Then you will see that everything is falling into its place, actually. You don't have to do anything. Everything will fall into place. That's the beauty of Amba. But for that, to experience this, you should give her the hands to do, actually. If you are going to keep on controlling things, then you will not see how she is functioning, actually. Got it? You should allow her to do, na? You should give her the agency. You are holding the agency for yourself. You are thinking that you are the one who is thinking. You are the one who is executing. You are the one ultimately into trouble, ultimately into sorrows, ultimately into tears. Nobody is listening to you, including your own self, actually. Who is responsible? Give everything to her. Hand over everything to her, including yourself. You have already handed over yourself, I guess. Hand over everything to her. That is the real Tirodhanam, actually. We are doing it, but we are not doing it. She is only doing it, actually. That thing, as it is progress, students, let me tell you that aham, that I, that big I, put and keep, then you can slowly start erasing little bit, slowly it is dissolving. That I is dissolving. I'm not saying that the next day you're going to get up like a Ramana Maharishi, actually. No, I'm not saying that. But you allow to become a Ramana Maharishi, actually, yourself. You cannot keep saying, idealizing Ramana Maharishi. You can also become like Ramana. That is what Bhagavan is actually saying. For that, you should allow yourself and allow Devi to work. Remember this. So, why I'm saying this, all these Shaktis which can go hayway, they will all come together. They will channelize themselves and they will work for your betterment, actually. Got it? They will work for your betterment. So I will explain this, the part of Kundalini, the part of all these 6 chakras and everything from the Shat Chakra Nirupana. That is the text that deals with it, actually. The Shat Chakra Nirupana is the primary text that deals with it. Even Arthur Avalon, he has written the great Tantric. Arthur Avalon is many fantastic books. It is there, like in English and all. You can also read, actually. People keep asking me, Guruji, you tell me what books I should buy. You can buy some good books, actually, like, I mean, I do not know what is your language preference, what you want to read and everything. See, my entire job is, about reading and taking classes and everything, go to the university and also in the school, like for you also. I keep reading a lot of things, actually. For you, you should really search, invest some money to buy some books and start reading, actually. Some from the foundations you read, then you will be able to understand my classes better. Then you can write better, you can think better, and you can express better, actually. So seriously, I don't have a set of books, maybe as of now. Like, in the future, I might tell some of the books, maybe. But maybe, like, let's see how it goes there. But I would say, really, to buy certain books to read, maybe at the foundation levels, actually, little you can read, actually, so that it opens up your channelizations, actually. I would really See, somebody's again saying, please suggest books. I am telling, I'm not going to suggest. You buy books, you read reviews, you look into the reviews, you look for it, and then you buy certain foundation books actually. I will give a set of books only I might suggest what is necessary actually for the course. Maybe in the future I might say actually, but now as of now we have a book reading also, a complete book reading. I will suggest the book, I'll give the PDF, and then we will all read together. That one exercise is there as a part of the course. We will do that later. But no, please, I'm not taking up this request. Read. You can decide to read. Moving forward. So all these aspects of the chakra cleansing and chakra and the details of the chakra, we will go into a little later into detail. As we progress into the class, I will talk about the theory. Now let us understand the kinds of yantras that is there, students. What are the different kinds of yantras are there? The first kind of yantra is Bhuprishta yantra. Bhuprishta yantra. Bhuprishta yantra. These yantras, what are these Bhuprishta yantras? They are made from materials from the element of earth actually. That is, these Bhuprishta yantras are made from all those elements that are actually available from the earth, particularly the metals basically. And these Bhuprishta yantras can be in two formats basically. One is the 2D form and the 3D form. The 2D form is nothing but the yantra, and the 3D form is nothing but the Meru actually. Sri Chakra yantra versus Mahameru. The difference actually, the 2D, 3D form. The second from this is the Meru Prishta yantras. These are nothing but again the 3D form in detail, if you have to talk about the 3D form. And these are actually like they shape like a mountain basically, because they come together like a sharp scope, and then the bindu is on the top. The third one is Patala yantras. Patala yantras. Patala means towards the downwards. The Meru Prishtam was looking on the topward. The Patala yantras are looking the downward actually. In other words, the Meru Prishta yantras are Shrishti yantras, and the Patala yantras are Samhara yantras actually. Samhara Tattva. All these have detailed things. Maybe this is not needed. Just this information is more than enough for you to do the Soundarya Lahari course. The next one is Meru Prasthara Yantra. Meru Prasthara Yantra, which means different shapes are cut and put into together to make a yantra, to make a form, to bring a form. Okay. The next one, Ruram Prishta Yantra. Ruram. 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 Ruram Prishta Yantras, they shape like a rectangle, basically. Ruram Prishta Yantras they basically shape like rectangle. Let me tell you, rectangle yantras are also there in Soundarya actually. There are square, there are rectangles, there are circle, there are triangles. So these are the basic 5 different kinds of yantras actually. And how they are actually used, let me tell you. They are basically used in 5 different, or rather 7 different ways. The first way, Sharira Yantras. Sharira Yantras, that is, it is specifically worn or kept in different space of the body. You remember I told you in one of my classes that there was this Upasaka, a mami whom I had darshan in Tiruchi when I was a young boy. She used to have it on the head. You remember? So this was basically that Sharira Yantra. So that mami had the yantra constantly on her head actually. So these are kept. Some people like they tie it in their hand and all, a small yantra and all, they will tie it in their hands and different places. Some people will tie it in the waist. So that yantra is put it in a small pallet, what we call a tayat actually. They will put it into a small thing and they will insert it, and then these are sharira yantras basically. Why? Because certain dimensions of the Kundalini needs to work for them in a better manner. Or in the other words, if somebody is so deeply into Atma Lahaba Prapti, that is moksha, then this is done either for what is called as the Sharira Karanam. Sharira Karanam means a particular part of the body or a particular dimension of the body or a particular personality of within ourselves should work nicely from the material point of view. Then these are worn at different places. Otherwise, ultimately, the moksha prapti or the moksha, if that is the goal, then we have that mami, what I said. I was blessed to have the darshan actually, and I've seen her twice. So they actually do this kind of a process. Actually, they live with that kind of a process actually. So that is Sharira Yantra. The next one is Dharana Yantra. Dharana Yantra. These Dharana Yantra, how it is different from Sharira Yantra is they are having a much more what is called as a intricate reason actually. Like for example, that I have a issue with my speech. Okay, then I will, if I'm going, maybe if I go to my guru is asking me to wear a Vak Shakti Yantra, then I will wear it near my Khantam actually. Got it, na? Example. So very specific. It has deep ritualistic, the energies and everything is done, and then it is worn for a particular time actually. It is not worn forever in life. Till that particular karyam needs to be done, then that is done, and then it is over actually. Dharana yantra. The third one is asana yantra. Asana yantra. Asana yantras are nothing but it is kept under the foundations. For example, if you in the South India or maybe in the North, we have this way of doing what is called as the Vastu Yantra. When before we construct the house, we keep the Vastu Yantra, or in the main door, when we keep before the main door is kept, we keep the Navagraha stones and the Navagraha Shanti Yantras. There are different things are done actually. If we have to do a pratishtha of a murti, we keep the yantra and then do the pratishtapana of the murti. So asana yantra. So it is basically, it is like an asana on which on the particular activity or the function is performed actually. So it's the asana yantra. The fourth one is mandala yantra. Mandala yantra. These fourth yantra is what it is drawn in a particular manner that it is covering all the four directions, all the four cardinal directions. And and also not just the four cardinal directions, the sub directions are also covered. That is north, east, south, west, and all the directions are covered. And a person sit around it to perform the puja, to invoke all the shaktis actually. For example, you have seen this Aslesha Bali, or a big yantra is drawn where people are sitting around the yantra and doing the worship and everything. You would have seen that. So these are all mandala pujas basically, or mandala yantra avahana puja basically. The fifth one is what is meant for us basically. Upasana yantra. Upasana yantra. Upasana yantras are basically installed in the houses or by the practice for the sadhakas actually. These yantras are made with different kinds and they are for different purposes actually. Different kinds and different purposes. And when such a puja yantra is there, then all the planets, that is Rashi, Nakshatra, Graha, Mandala, all the four aspects. Let me tell you, Rashi, Nakshatra, Graha, Mandala, everything is actually, every energy is combined in that yantra, and then the Upasaka is doing a holistic Upasana of all the devatas together. Any yantra, if I have an interpersonal relationship with that particular yantra, then all these aspects will work. What is called as there is a sumukam. Sumukam means there is a holistic relationship that we will develop. In other words, let me openly tell you the secret. By the end of the Soundarya Lahari course, you draw the 100 yantras, you practice the Soundarya Lahari, all the 100 shlokas in the prescribed format that is going to be said. All the Navagraha doshas you have been carrying since, for a long time, everything will be nullified actually. That is the power of this yantra sadhana. You all wanted pariharam, right? Do the sadhana. Sitting at home, do the sadhana. Going on running behind pariharam and astrologists, don't do that. I know I have a lot of my students astrologists here. Please don't be offended. I hope all my students, those who are here, are good astrologers actually. Or maybe my students who are astrologists here, they get healed and they can give good solutions to their clients, basically. They have that clarity, they have that rigor, they have that vibrations, whatever they say, it works out for them. And work out for those what kind of predictions they give actually. So there are obviously the yantra requires the medium of the teacher to connect with those energies. Obviously, it's very clear. Okay. The teacher needs to be there. The sadhaka needs to be there. And then the puja yantra, the upasana yantra comes into existence. The next one is puja yantra. Puja yantra is the next level where they have specific form and they are worshipped that is from the sadhana yantra can itself be a yantra, students, please understand. But puja yantra specifically here means it is having much more specific dimension, specific purpose. For example, in the temple, Sri Chakra that is installed in the temple, for example. Or maybe you are doing the Soundarya Lahari sadhana and then you have grasped all the concepts, then you have come up to the race, you have been raised to the occasion of what you are supposed to do. Then we are prescribing, the Mahavidyalaya itself is prescribing and teaching you what is called as Sri Vidya Yantra Sadhana in a very prescribed and a very systematic manner. So what is happening from the sadhaka, from the sadhaka yantra, from the sadhana yantra, it is into what is called as a puja yantra very specifically. Clear? Got it? Pravina is smiling because she's already having a yantra. Good. Now, moving forward. Next one. This is very interesting actually. Or this can also come to that mami, basically the one whom I was referring to. The next one is Chattar Yantras. Chattar Yantras. Chattar Yantras. That is at a very high level of sadhana, individuals keep this under their turban or their pocket. In their pockets or their turban, they keep the yantra, it seems. Now, the last one is the one which most of you are doing, all those desperate souls or maybe those who have been gifted or everything. Darshan yantra. You have a yantra at your home and you keep looking at them in the puja room actually. Darshan yantra. That is, they are there. You go and you just see darshan. That's it. That's nothing more than that actually. Correct, na? How many of you are having Sri Chakra at your home? If you are not having, very good, please don't have it. Wait. Those who are having, so you are doing darshan of that, correct, na? Darshan yantra. Now, how these yantras are basically, there is a lot of what is called as all the navagrahas have interrelationship with all the yantras. Okay. I will also, I will, it has, at this foundation stage, if I'll tell you, it will completely deviate you people from we are actually doing, because if we'll talk about Mohanam, Vashikaranam and everything, Akarshanam, I am not talking about that. Let you first do the course and then we will get into all those dimensions. But what I'm saying is that every yantra has what is called as the power of attraction, the power of healing, the power of love, the power of manifestation. This is more than enough at this foundation stage for you. Hmm? Now, this yantra basically, which we draw. No, there are yantras which we draw with our hands, actually. Okay. Drawing, I mean, you sculpt it on the copper sheet or the gold sheet or a silver sheet is something else, actually. Okay. But particularly, traditionally, what we will do this in our class. Let me tell you this, because that's the reason I'm telling you, though we will be using pencils and scale and all the modern dimensions of drawing the yantra, but this is something we will give respect to this. You will keep this in a small box and we will use this. There is something called as Ashtagandh, actually. Ashtagandham. Ashtagandham is very important for these yantras. Now, don't tell me that I'm going to buy one bottle from the store and bring it, actually. I don't want that Ashtagandham. This Ashtagandham is made up of the following items: Kesar, Kasturi, edible camphor, white chandan. How many items are there? 4. Okay, 4. Turmeric, kumkumam, shilajit. Got it? All the 8 items. One more is there, huh? Okay. We can use what is called as, this will be a bit difficult to get because I'm kumkumam. No, there was something else, but this is enough because there are different combinations the Tantra Raja Tantra is talking about, what we can do. So this is a combination which basically I also use. There is also agar tagar. Sometimes I use agar tagar. Sometimes I mix it with, goroch, and like there are different things we use for different purposes, but this is standard. We can mix and keep it, actually. Make this note and keep, because this is needed for us. What are the practical uses of yantras? All these yantras, what is I mean, the foundational activity of any yantra? Shanti Karan. Shanti Karan. Number 1, Shanti Karan. Shanti Karan means what? To bring Shanti, Samriddhi, cure of diseases, you know, any malefic effects that are coming in, to nullify them, to, to inf to have the healing benefits. If you're suffering from any planets, you have a kind of a healing effect. Because for this, there is Shanti Karna. Next one is Stambanam. 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 Stambanam of what? Means to prevent all the accidental things that are supposed to take place in your life, actually, or means to re-divert all the difficulties which you are supposed to face, actually. The next one, Viddeshanam, Viddeshanam. All the differences that are there, the differences of opinion, the dvandvams that are there, actually, all the difficult dvandva means the dualities that is there. The duality that I am different and you are different, that itself is a huge thing. To end that is actually what we wanted to do it. Here, the Vidyan will also mean what you deliberately, you try to create differences between people, actually. You want to bring in trouble between people. That is also idea is there, but that is not the idea we are getting into. Uchatanam. The next one is Uchatanam. Uchatanam means to keep our enemies away from us. Any kind of enemies. For that reason, you will not keep bringing enmity from people and thinking that, okay, I'm doing Soundarya Lahari, it is going to save me. Don't even dare to do that. Next one, Maranam. Maranam or Maranam, in other words. Maranam means what? If there are any untoward incident that is supposed to take place in your life, particularly even to the levels that even beyond, before your lifespan, you are supposed to, your life is coming to an end, or people around you, or whatever it is. So all these things are controlled, actually. It brings in a kind of a kavach. It brings in a kind of a protection. Today, for some reason, Argya is very active. Good. So the next class, now the time is almost there. The next class we will discuss in, I hope now you understand the Soundarya Lahari sadhana is going to bring you all these foundations, actually. I mean, why you are going to draw the yantras, what these yantras are going to mean for you, correct? 100 yantras, 100 mantras, 100, 100 upasanas you are going to do, actually. So I'm taking you through the foundation, basically. So these yantra, this today's class, I hope it was helpful for you to understand that every yantra has a specific purpose. Every yantra has the powers to bring what is called as a cosmic uh, energies much more better as compared to the other mediums of the pujas that we basically do. And also, to sum up, this has very high levels of karmic nullifications. Actually, they can nullify the karmas in a much better manner. They can channelize our energies. They can channelize our emotions. They can channelize the very personality of us, actually, these yantras. And they can bring in a kind of an altered dimension to our consciousness, actually, which is very difficult otherwise to bring through other ways and means, actually. Once we reach or once we attain that altered dimension in the consciousness, then of course our personality will change. When our personality will change, the ways and means in which we think will change, and the ways and means in which our thinking will change, then our patterns of behavior will change. And when our patterns of behavior is changing, then everything around us is actually changing. That is the science of these yantra, basically. And that is what we are trying to look into, a very devotional way of what is called as surrendering to Devi, because we want that altered consciousness here, because we want to understand Devi, we want to live with Devi, and we want to become Devi herself, actually. That is the sankalpa that I carry for myself and I carry for each one of you. So that clarity is there, actually, thankfully. So we will not deviate from that clarity. I will not deviate from the clarity. And we will go with that Sankalpa Shakti to take it forward. Hope this class was very useful to all of you and you enjoyed, and we look forward for all these. So I'm connecting both the philosophy and the theory together, because if I'll keep talking the philosophy also, it's very boring, it's very drying. If I keep talking about theory also, it's very, it's very mind boggling, actually. So I'm combining both, I'm slowly injecting the injection in one of you and bringing you all together in a particular. So you will see that at the end, you have learned so many things and everything is falling into place. You need to hold on for that. Now everything is in tidbits here and there. You need to hold on so that everything will come together. Okay, thank you so much. Let's end the session with Mangalam. But before I end, all the faculty members to stay back after the class, I have something to talk to you. Let's do the Mangalam. Sarva Mangala Mangalye Shive Sarvartha Sadhike Sharanye Trayambhake Gauri Narayani Namostute Jayanti Mangala Kali Bhadrakali Kapalini Durga Kshamak Shiva Dhatri Swaha Swadha Namostute Dukkadiparani Shri Durga Parameshwariyai Namaha Shri Yantraraja Shri Mahatriprasundaryai Namaha Sarvam Shri Mahalakshmi Arpanamastu Tathastu. Thank you so much. Namaskaram. See you in the next class.
Thank you, Guruji.
Thank you,
Thank you, Guruji.
Thank you,
Guruji.
Guruji.
Thank you.
Thank you, Guruji. Very much, Guruji. Yeah, very much.
Thank you, Guruji.
Namaskaram, Guruji.